Okay, I'm back. I'm sitting here with Vaughn Miller. This is Jeff Overturf with WTFradio.me. While we were off for a second there, Vaughn, tell everybody how you got interested and started in polo.
I appreciate it, Jeff. That's a great question. You know, polo is the absolute greatest. Well, to me, it's the greatest sport ever. It's certainly the greatest of the equestrian sports. I got started actually at the age of 35, about 15 years ago in Dallas, at a place called Dallas Polo Club. It was founded by Bill Walton. And that's on the south side of Dallas. That's down near Red Oak and parts south in Ellis County. And he called me up and he said, actually, a guy who works for him called him up, super nice guy named Scott Lancaster. Guy calls me up. He says, Vaughn, I want you to come out and take a polo lesson. And I said, I'll think about it. He says, I'll sell you 10 lessons to give you the 10 lesson package. And if you don't like it, I won't call you again. I said, okay, fine. And figure you come out once a week and take a lesson, 10 lessons, right? I got down there, Jeff, and I came back every day, and in 10 days, I had used all 10 lessons, and I was writing a check for my first horse on the 11th day. So that's how much I fell in love with it.
Well, were you also a horse person before that?
I was not. I was athletic. I was in shape and what have you. But I'd gotten to a point at 35. I was reasonably successful in business. So I was kind of looking for something to do fun, and there was bicycling and swimming and all these sports and things. And those are all fun, and I do those things. But, I just wanted something different, and just something about it. It sounded really fun and kind of sexy. And I was and of course I was single at the time. Hey, So I get down there and he gets me on this horse, and I tell you what, I had what they call the polo smile. I had this smile, this grin you could not get off my face. It was so much fun. Going on the 1,000 pound, I'm going 30, 35 miles an hour, hitting a little white ball, and I got other guys out there swinging around trying to chase this thing. It was absolutely the funnest thing I'd ever done. Well, I fast forward from there. I grew in the sport, and I began to play, what we kind of call amateur polo. We played amateur, and then I got involved with some pro-am polo, and it was kind of what we call our higher goal.
Right.
In polo, you're a beginner. You give everybody a handicap, like golf. And each year that handicap is reviewed by a committee of players. So, for example, a brand new player is going to start at -2, and the best player in the world is going to be 10 goals. So if you're a -2 and I'm a 10, I got to spot you 12 goals if we go out and play a game.
Right.
That's kind of how it works. Of course, you never play though like quite that extreme. Beginner players start at -2, then they go to -1, and then 0, which is A, or amateur. We call 0 players an amateur, and that's hard. Just to get from -2 to 0 is difficult. Well, now I'm 2 goals, and I've been playing 15 years. I probably won't be 3 or 4. I might, but that's about as far as I go. Now, my son, on the sidebar note, Vaughn, Sebastian, he started playing at 11. He'll probably could reach 7 or 8 goals, maybe 10 if he's super lucky. But there's only about 5 10-goal players on the planet.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
This is like a international type sport.
It is an international sport. Polo is worldwide. It actually started 1,000 years ago in the plains of Persia, and it evolved and migrated into England and into the United States in the 1800s. And it was polo was hugely popular. I don't know if you know this. In the 1920s and 30s, polo was one of the most popular sports in America. Walt Disney played, actors, Clark Gable, Spencer Tracy, it was really cool to play polo. And they played in, Santa Barbara in California. They played in New York on the island there, and they just recently opened up Governor's Island, played there, and had a big charity match last year. Both Prince Harry and Charles came over for. So, polo is actually kind of seeing a resurgence, if you will. It's coming back, and we've tried to make polo also appeal to the masses. It's got this image of kind of pretty woman, and it's exclusive, and that's all fine and well. But what we're doing in Oak Point and at Prestonwood is we're trying to expose it to the masses.
Well, I know one thing as far as that GoPro camera that I hooked up for your matches. That is the coolest GoPro video that I've ever done. I mean, I've done biking, I've done everything, other things, but the sound of those horses running down the field and the wind and everything else, that galloping thunder you hear.
It's actually right. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like that feeling of speed, of control power. Now you're on an animal. Tommy Lee Jones said the greatest thing a man and a horse can do together is play polo. Winston Churchill said, a polo handicap is a passport to the world. And those are really true things. Our polo is all over the planet, and it's definitely international.
Well, I bet if you can make a deal on a golf course, you can make a bigger deal on a polo field.
That's right. Absolutely right. So what happens is we give everybody a handicap. So beginner players are going to be -2, -1, and 0, and maybe 1. And then after that, you begin to advance in the sport, and then some people turn pro and become pros or no longer amateurs. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of a pro-am player. I give lessons, I teach polo, and I bring new players in. So I'm a professional player, but I don't do it for a living. So I'm not really a pro. I'm really what we call I'm really our club pro.
Okay.
And so I'm the Prestonwood Club Pro. Basically, where I give lessons, I sell horses, and I teach people how to play. And then there's guys who are purely professional players, and that's all they do for a living, which would be great. I would love to do that if I could. But, think about it. You're getting paid to play the funnest sport in the world. And these guys are usually 3, 4, 5, and all the way up to 10 goals.
Well, that guy from South Africa, what would you rate him? The one I was out there videotaping.
He was a pretty good player.
Yeah, he was.
I think he is. He's rated 1.
Oh, okay.
He's rated 1, and he's going up. So to talk about polo a little bit, let's talk about the sport for a minute. Let me give you an overview.
Okay, well, let's take a little break here. We'll be right back, and we'll pick that up where we just stopped. This is Jeff from WTFradio.me. I'm sitting here with Vaughn Miller.